Today's the 1st of April, and that's no April Fool. It's about 10:30 at night, and I just got in. I thought I'd send you a tape because the last time I sent one to you, I know it was so weak you could hardly hear it. I didn't realize that until I'd already finished the tape, and I played it back, and I couldn't even hardly hear the thing myself. But it was late at night, and I was going to be busy for a couple of days, so I went ahead and sent that thing anyway. Now things have calmed down a little bit, and I felt like I owed you another tape to make up for that last one. I got a letter today from an old boy that lives in Comfort, Texas. His name is Ernest Ingehew. He's a good old German boy, I'll guarantee you. His parents and grandparents came into that Bernie Comfort country in the early days, and he's got in his home out there old homemade beautiful pecan and walnut furniture, these great big cupboards, most beautiful things you ever saw in your life. He's a very refined person. He's traveled extensively in Mexico, but he's one of the old school German types. He must be, I know he's in his 70s. He's a bachelor, and his sister, who's a spinster, lives with him. Until just this last year, his mother lived with him, and good Lord only knows how old she was when she died, but she was very intelligent. She never did get senile. Very interesting to listen to. Old Ernest owned the ranch out at Bernie that I used to go digging on all the time. Beautiful places to dig airheads there. Tremendous campsites. And he's the fellow that I was telling you about that owned the property where the Indians still live there. There's 2 families or 3 families of Indians there today. They don't speak Spanish and they don't speak English at all. And you just can't converse with them. They think they own the property. But Ernest just always let them think that. He built them some little old wooden and tin buildings there. They look like little old storage places for tools, probably 10 foot by 10, if that big, with a dirt floor, and no windows in them, but no glass or anything. And these Indians moved into there from just out on the ground where they'd lived for several hundred years probably. There is a nice spring there, a creek bottom. These Indians catch coon and possum, and occasionally they get a deer. Ernest shoots deer and takes down to them, and old Bill Fike, who lives in Austin, and I used to go out there digging quite a bit, and we found a tremendous amount of real nice first-class arrowheads and spear points, and Ernest has a nice collection himself. But anyway, Ernest, since he's getting up in years and he lives pretty far from the hospital there in San Antonio, decided he'd move into town so he could get medical assistance if he needed it. And just this last year, he sold off a portion of his ranch. When I get back, I want to take you and Joan and our families down to Bracketville and over to Comfort and spend some time down there at Fort Clark and all the surrounding areas there, and just enjoy some of the good living. Old Ernest really knows how to live. The reason I brought his name up, I'm sending you a letter I got from him under separate cover here. I recommended the book On the Border with Mackenzie to him because I know how interested he is in that sort of thing. And he wrote me a letter here that I don't even believe. Boy, part of his ranch was the old Mackenzie Ranch. And the letter's a little bit hard to read, but I'll send it to you. How about giving that thing to Peggy when you get through with it, because I want to save that letter. When I get down to see old Ernest again, I want to pull out all that Mackenzie stuff he's got and take a look at it and maybe talk him out of it. I've been sending Ernest wood carvings for years. I sent him some stuff that I got in Spain when I was over there in 1957 and 58, 10 years ago. And Ernest is a real nice guy. He really is. I'm sure you'd be interested in reading this letter. Peggy said you were interested in getting some stuff for maybe Joan and your mother some rings and some other things, and just let me know what you'd like to have, and I'd be happy to pick up anything over there in Thailand that you want. I'm going to Australia, I think, in May sometime, I hope, for 7 or 9 days, and I'll take a look down there and see what's worth buying. I can get over to Thailand nearly any time I want to. We have a rescue airplane, a C-130, that goes over every Monday morning at 6 o'clock and comes back about 7 or 8 o'clock that night. There's no trouble to get on it. Also, I'll be going to Hong Kong too here before very long, I hope, maybe the 23rd of this month. So if there's anything at all you want, just let me know what it is and I'll pick it up for you. I'm glad you got to talk to Joe Beeler, spend some time with him while he was there. Joe seems to be a real nice guy. He's got a nice wife, and they live in a real fine place there in Sedona. He has a couple of horses there and a Jeep and I don't know what all, and I don't know exactly how much cow punching he does, but he seems to have a good front anyway. He's got some beautiful paintings. I doubt very seriously if he brought anything down to Lubbock there that was part of his really good stuff, but in his home you can see that this guy is a real artist by some of the work he has hanging there. Things have been pretty quiet around here the last couple of days. Yesterday I didn't fly at all, so today I made up for it. I went on alert at 7 o'clock this morning. We keep 6 airplanes on alert all the time, and I got scrambled twice. The first time about noon I went up a little bit past Kontum, which actually was about 30 miles west of Kontum, right on the Laotian border. And the Marines up there had been in close contact with a battalion of NV-8 regulars, and they scrambled us to help break the contact. And the forward air controller had been circling the area for about 15 minutes when we got there, and he saw a bunch of these NV-8 troops run in some bunkers up there underground. And we dropped 8 750-pound bombs on top of the bunkers. Those darn things, half of them were instant fuses which blow on contact with the ground and make a tremendous blast, blowing trees 3 and 4 feet in diameter, just big logs up into the air 50 and 75 feet. And the other 2 bombs each of us carried were .025 delayed fuses in the nose and tail both. These things dig in 15 to 18 feet before they blow. And when those things blow, it just fills the sky with dust and dirt and smoke and rocks. And if the wind's calm like it was up there today, it just takes about 30 or 45 minutes for the smoke to clear, so you can even tell what you've done in the way of damage. So we couldn't hang around, and the fact didn't even know exactly where our bombs hit because the smoke was so bad and the dust and stuff. So we came on back, and as soon as we got the airplane turned around and ready to go again, which takes about an hour and a half, they scrambled us again almost to the same area, but it was a little bit further west. We had to fly a left-hand pattern in the bombing pattern to keep from flying into Cambodia, which is supposedly against the rules, and we stay out of it as much as possible. But we were dropping bombs on an active 37mm sight there. The thing had been shooting right before we got up there, but when they see a little spotter plane fly overhead, why, those people quit shooting right now and run for bunkers because they know he's got fighters tagging along behind him, and they sure don't want the fact to see him, because that's pretty bad news for those guys. So we dropped our bombs on what the fact thought was the right location. And of course, if we hit the gun, there's no way we could ever tell it because it just blow the thing in little pieces. But again, we made so much dust and smoke and fires caused by trees bursting into flame that we came home again not knowing exactly what damage we had done. So it was two pretty boring missions, really. These missions continue to be good, though. 2 days ago I had a real good one up in the Ashaw Valley, which is about 40 miles due west of Way. It's the middle of the Ho Chi Minh Trail, and everything coming down south from North Vietnam comes across 2 or 3, 4 roads in Cambodia, in Laos, and then later on down in Cambodia. And the place is just absolutely pockmarked with bomb craters up there. The B-52s drop in there all the time from 35,000 feet, and the fighters go in at 50 and 75 feet and 500 knots, dropping these big 750-pound bombs. And it's pretty accurate bombing, really. All you have to do is be able to see a target or have the forward air controller mark it with white phosphorus rockets, and you can drop them right down the old barrel. Half our airplanes usually carry 4 cans of napalm, which is 830 gallons per can, and that helps keep the enemy's head down while the guys coming over with bombs at low altitude drop them on top. It's a pretty good system, really. And it seems like the last few times I've been up, the ground fire's been a little bit slower, which is a surprise, really, because the action up there picks up almost daily. There's an old boy who used to work for me there at Reese by the name of Fred Thompson, and he lived about, I think, less than a block or 2 blocks from you there, someplace around 10th or 11th Street, about 5200 there. Anyway, he was shot down flying out of Phuket last week. He was up around the Magia Pass area, which is about 85 miles north of Khe Sanh. And when he jumped out, his beeper started beeping on guard channel automatically, and everybody heard it. But it was almost dark, and so the rescue operation didn't start until the next morning. And when the Crown airplanes got up there, they heard his beeper in downtown in a city up there in the Magia Pass area, so they knew that very little chance that old Fred was going to get picked up. He's probably up in the Hanoi Hilton by now. This tape's about over, so I'll close, Bill. Tell Joan and everybody hello for me, and your mother and Gloria and well, a whole bunch. Tell old James that you better take care of that back, because when it gets gimp, boy, it sure makes for a lot of trouble. I'm sure he realizes that. But anyway, tell a whole bunch hello for me, and let me hear from you. And also, I'd like to know what you think about this